Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's having a powerful, positive, productive, healthy Thursday. Give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter. So let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Thursday before we dive in. What's the word? How everybody living and feeling, man? Ray, peace. What's happening, my good brother? I see you was tapped in before I went live. Hopefully, you still with me. What's happening with you? What's the word? How this Thursday treating everybody, man? Y'all see the subject matter, man. It's been a few days since I tapped in, but we got something to say. We're gonna get it off our chest today, man. We're gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes. I got about an hour or so before I have to head back up to this gym and finish off my clients. Y'all know how I go. Beast by Bless. What's happening? Peace. How we living? How we feeling? What's the word, man? Y'all see the subject matter, y'all see the topic, man. We talking about black people liberation because that's always what I talk about, man. I'm always concerned about the liberation, the freedom, the mindset, the mentality of my people. That's the foundation of everything that I talk about and build on. Lindell, what's happening? Clyde Sim, my brother, what's happening? Hey, for sure, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Mark, what's happening? Hey, Kalen, what's happening? 777, what's happening? Peace, peace, what's happening? Hey, Dallas, peace. What's happening? Hey, y'all tapped in. Y'all ready to answer these questions? Cornelius, peace. What's happening? Hey, Brian, what's happening? IBR, peace. What's happening? So we could get to it because y'all answering it, because I was going to start off by asking y'all the question, do y'all think in y'all minds, man, do black people truly want as a whole, as a collective? Of course, within the group, within the collective, you're going to have individuals that's always fighting for freedom, that's always striving to be liberated. But when we talking about the collective, the group, do y'all feel as a whole we want freedom, we want to be liberated? My short answer is no. And one of the reasons why I say no is because most black people don't even feel like we are enslaved. Most black people in the wilderness of North America, we feel like we are in the land of freedom. So they didn't brainwash us to the point where we don't even think we are enslaved still. We don't think that we are in bondage still and things along those lines. So my short answer is no. My short answer is collectively we don't want to be liberated. We don't want to be free because we don't think that we have anything to be liberated from. We think all is well. We think all is well. We think if we are not in a certain position collectively, it's all on us, which is some truth to that, but we can't ignore the systematic racism that still exists. And a lot of black people have suppressed that or tried to ignore that to the point where we think that this system has zero to do with our condition these days. It's 2024. They think that that's still blaming the white man and things along those lines when that's really not what's happening. We're not blaming anybody. Once again, as I've always said, we are just acknowledging roles. And that's it. Prime example is these platforms on social media that we do not control. When you get on these platforms as a black man, as a black woman with knowledge of self, are you striving to help your people? What happens to that platform if they get hold of it? The channel, it gets removed, it gets banned, you get strikes, things along those lines, man. That's systematic. You know, that's a way to keep certain pieces of information and certain people suppressed. Blaze, what's happening? What's happening? But my short answer is no. Collectively, we don't want to be free. We don't want to be liberated, and that's simply because we don't feel like we are enslaved. We don't feel like there is a problem collectively for the most part. You talk to the average black brother or black sister off the street, and you start talking about being liberated, they looking at you like you crazy. Like, what are we being liberated from? All is well. We are in the United States of America. We good. We good. There's nothing to be liberated from. That's what most people think. And I feel like that's a sad reality, unfortunately. That the psychological brainwashing, the psychological indoctrination still runs pretty deep these days. and it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse and worse, man. Every time that's why I don't even be, as y'all see, man, I don't even be tapped in that much for real, man. I don't even be going live as much as I did, man. I don't be tapped in like that at all these days, man, because I'm seeing what's going on, man. I'm seeing the manipulation, I'm seeing the brainwashing, I'm seeing the indoctrination, I'm seeing the rigging, man. Hey, listen, I tapped in because I've been in, I was born in sports my whole life. I was born in sports. So of course I'm gonna tap into sports. Man, but I'd be a fool to sit here and act like stuff don't be rigged and all that type of, man, that, come on. If you saw the Super Bowl, even just not even the game itself, but just the two teams that made it there, man, come on, man. Like I can get into the science of just how all that was rigged and manipulated and influenced, and just how people don't understand the definition of what it means to rig something. But it's like, man, when you just start paying attention and tapping in, man, they making it real obvious these days. When you look on social media and you just see all the content that's going viral and just the content that they want you to continue to see within your algorithm, it just be a bunch of nonsense, man. So I just be tapped out reading books these days, man, just chilling, getting my mind right. Because I see what's going on, man, and a lot of movies that have come out recently on these streaming apps, just kind of letting us know what to get prepared for, man. It's just real in the field out here, man. So I'm just getting my mind right. I'm getting my mind right for sure. That's what I'm doing. Shakir Nisi, what's happening? TJ Peace, what's happening? Oh yeah, Mark. Yeah, Mark. Hey man, you won't have liberation and things like that without bloodshed, without death. You know, but that's life in general. You know what I mean? Like even if we not even fighting for liberation and freedom, we still gonna have bloodshed. We still gonna have death. You know what I mean? Like we still gonna have it. So that's just a part of life. That's a part of life, but that definitely comes with the territory for sure. When you out here fighting for freedom, fighting for liberation, or you just striving to liberate yourself, you don't even have to be fighting for the liberation of your people. Just striving to liberate yourself as a black man and black woman, just being self-sufficient in the wilderness of North America is hard enough in itself. Just striving to liberate yourself from corporate America or separate yourself from corporate America, man, and do your own thing. That's hard enough in and of itself. So when you add that along with striving to liberate the minds of your people, man, that's just another layer of complication. you know, it's already hard enough to just liberate yourself, liberate your mind, get your mind back on track. Because we all, for the most part, unless you was just born into the revolution, we all was brainwashed at a point we had to free that mind. We had to reprogram the mind. So anybody that then walk through that process knows how complicated that is, especially when you got to deal with family members and people that used to be friends and all that type of good stuff. So that's already hard enough to do that. Clocks in, man. To show you how much I'll be tapped out, I haven't even listened to his new album. I've been done with Kanye for a minute. I had a period of time, man. This might have been right when I graduated high school. This might have been like 2009, 2010, 2011. If you was around during that time, man, you already know where I'm about to go with this, man. But it was a lot of videos, documentaries, and just information being disseminated out here about like Illuminati, Masonry, secret societies, all of that type of good stuff. Hollywood, like that was, I ain't gonna say that was a trend, but it was very popular to talk about these things. And man, I had got to a point where I disconnected from all mainstream music because I was like, man, they all involved in that nonsense. They all in on it. So I disconnected from all of those artists, but I never really too much cared for Kanye even before I came across that information. Few people I never cared for in the music world that a lot of people be surprised, or a lot of people rock with that I never rock with. Two of them, Kanye, Jay-Z. I never liked either one of them, like ever. Like there has never been a point in my life where I listened to either one of them. Like even before I came into knowledge, I never could rock with them. and Biggie being another one, simply because I never liked Diddy, so I ain't really like a lot of people that was rocking with Diddy either. You know, so I know a lot of people listen to these cats, but I could never get with them. So I like when Ye drops something new, I'm never in a rush to listen to it because I never really care for dude to begin with, you know. So I might eventually go back and tap in and see what dude talking about, but I'm never in a rush to listen to anything by dude because I never really cared for dude. Jay-Z the same way. Like I don't really be caring what dude is talking about and what dude is on. I ain't never been too fond of them two. And some other folks involved, but them like the main two. Them some of the main two. I ain't never cared for them, man. You know how you just don't be getting a good vibe from certain people. You know, like I've always felt that way about them two brothers, man. I just don't really trust them. You know, and Diddy is another. I just don't like dude. Like I ain't never met dude, but it's just something about him, like the energy that they be giving off that I just never liked them. And I've given them chance after chance, like, man, maybe I'm just tripping. And I try to sit down and tap in, man, but it's just, man, my mind won't allow it to happen, man. I just can't get with them. Some don't sit right with me when it comes to certain people within Hollywood, and them some brothers right there that I just don't matter what they do and say, I just don't be rocking with them. You know, so I haven't gotten around to it, man. But they got us good. They got us good with this football, man. They be smacking us in the face with some of the stuff that they be doing, man, as far as like rigging, man, and just corrupting things and manipulating us, man. They be getting us. You know, they be getting us, man. Yeah, Blaze, man. So social media is a problem. Social media, especially for our women out here. Social media got all black women striving to get surgeries, and I don't know about. I'm quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I can't stand it, but that's the norm. That's the norm. Like you hard pressed these days to come across some sisters that ain't been influenced by these surgeries out here, man. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. It's crazy because they didn't sold the natural image. I done said this. They didn't sold they didn't sold the black women her own natural makeup. You know what I mean? Like they didn't sold the black woman her natural body type. They didn't sold it to her. They making black women pay to look like they would already look if they just hit the gym. Like that's crazy. Like I can see white women going to get these BBLs trying to look, but they got black. They didn't sold that to black women who naturally look like this anyway. All they got to do is just go work out to enhance it. So that's the crazy part, man. So that's why I'm like, when I look at it collectively, man, when I just analyze social media and I just see what the masses of black people be talking about, what get us to talking, the things that we gravitate towards, I just shake my head, man. You know, and then when you got the people that's honestly out here striving to teach, striving to give out information, striving to motivate and inspire, and it's just like, man, you might as well talk to a wall. Yes, the message hits who it needs to hit, but that ain't really the point, man. It's just like it's some positive people out here, man, that should be getting more exposure than they get. And you got a bunch of ignorance that soon as it, I mean, come on, man. The ignorance is crazy, man. I don't even, it's just crazy. It's crazy. Lindell for sure. Hey, and you know, Brother Malcolm is my guy. Was my guy. I mean, is my guy, you know. Beast by Bless, man. That's exactly where I was at with it. You can't convince the average black person, original person, whatever you want to call them, that they are enslaved, that there's something to be liberated from, which is crazy. And that makes it even harder when it comes to just talking about group economics and just us supporting one another when they don't even think that we have any problems. So it's harder to get them on board even with that. And I can go on another spiel about us supporting one another, man, and just how we so quick to put each other on blast But I rarely see us putting these other corporations and businesses on blast and things like that, because we live in fear of them. We afraid to talk about these big corporations because of what they can do to us, because of how they can shut us down. But you don't mind putting your local black business on blast because you know they don't have any power to do anything to you. But some of these major corporations, man, they connected to the owners of Facebook, the owners of YouTube, and all of that. You know, so you put them on blast and they get wind of it, man, they can get your whole account shut down. So you're afraid to talk about some of those corporations. You know, but you catch a few people on the bad day of the black business, man, and you gonna go in on them for some days. See, this why I don't support black this and black that. You know, they prices this and that. It's a reason why our prices got to be this and that, man. We independent, fam. Come on, man. Get your business acumen up and stop criticizing. Yeah, this black business got to charge $50, $60 for this sweatshirt, opposed to Walmart being able to charge $20, $30. It should be common sense. Don't knock them. You know, either you gonna buy the sweatshirt or you not. Don't go and criticize the price, because you gotta get your business acumen up, man. You know why somebody that's independent is charging more. They have to. It probably cost him 30 or 40 to get the sweatshirt. Whole while you going to support these white folks that got children overseas enslaving, making your clothes. But you not criticizing that. You going to support them. You know, but your brother, your sister, man, they got sweatshirts for $60. You can't stomach that, but you going to support the folks who got children enslaved, you know, children working, slaving, making your clothing, and you rushing out to support that. And you ain't saying nothing about that. You silent. But then when somebody points that out, then you wanna turn that off. Oh man, they talking crazy. I don't want to hear that. But let me start bashing a black man or a black woman and they business and they product or they service. You tapped in for that controversy. You tapped in for that controversy. What they say, controversy sells, right? That's what we be tapped into that. We love drama, man. And they prey on that. They prey on us loving drama. Our love of drama is gonna get us killed, man. Gonna get us killed. It's getting some of us killed. Oh yeah, Blaze. Hey, free in the mind, especially when you are original in the wilderness of North America, full of artificial people. Free in the mind is very complicated, man. It's when they say it's lonely at the top, like it's a lonely road, fam. It's a lonely road. It's a lonely road. I've been on this road for a very long time, so it's a lonely road. It's a lonely road, and it seemed like the more you embark on it, the worse you get. Seriously. TJ, learning how to unlearn is a tough task, man, for sure, man. Hey, and that's learning how to unlearn in different areas of your life. You know, you gotta unlearn and relearn your history. You gotta unlearn and relearn how to eat properly. Like, we done been lied to in every area of life. People just be talking about history, like, oh, they lied to us about our history. Man, that's just only one area that we being lied to. Man, you got history, politics, religion, nutrition, all of it, man. You got all type of media, all type of areas, man, where we just being lied to. Law, like, we being lied to so many different areas, man. It's crazy. You know, so the history is just one area, is one subject that you gotta unlearn and relearn. You know, you gotta learn how to eat properly. You know, you gotta unlearn the way that you were taught to eat. Then you gotta learn how to eat properly. You know, you gotta unlearn the history that you was taught in school. Then you got to learn the exact or the right and exact history. Man, you gotta do that with everything. You gotta do that with everything. You know, you gotta unlearn the religion that you've been following ever since you was a child. And the only reason you following is because your mama and your grandmother told you to. You gotta unlearn that, you know, and you got to start studying and find the truth. You know, it's difficult, man, because now you got to challenge the people that then raised you. You got to question the people that then raise you. Folks don't be want to do that. It makes them uncomfortable. Folks don't be wanting to be put in that position. So what do you do when you don't want to get put in that position? When you don't want to have those confrontations? You just shut up and accept what you were told, what you were taught. You don't question anything. Some of us can't live like that. And I'm one of the ones that I wasn't able to live like that. I wasn't able to live like that. Once my eyes started to open, I had to go back to the people that had me believing certain things. I'm like, yo, I got some questions for you. And that didn't sit well with a lot of people, and another one of my unpopular opinions in regards to why black folk, why it's gonna be hard for us to be free, because we keep following the white folks in their calendars, man. We pick and choose, man. We pick and choose. I know too many people, man. We pick and choose when we want to be revolutionary and rebellious, opposed to not. We pick and choose when we want to be like all these white folks, this, that, and the third, and they stole everything from us, and white folks wicked, and then we celebrating days that they gave us on the calendar. We pick and choose. We inconsistent, man. We wishy-washy, fam. We wishy-washy. We guys, too many people out here, man. We be trying to drop little nuggets here, little jewels about white folks, about the system, and then it's Valentine's Day, we going crazy. It's Valentine's Day, we mad somebody ain't give us some flowers. But you was just, you know what I'm saying? You was just trying to get the truth to people about every day being a pagan day. You like, come on, it's wishy-washy. Be consistent with it. Be consistent with it. Like, I don't fool with these days at all. You will not hear me acknowledging these days. I feel like that's one step towards black people truly liberating ourselves, man. We are literally following a calendar that was given to us by our oppressor. And we are literally subscribing to days, following days that they have given us. I say, and I've said this 1,000 times, y'all done heard me say this on several streams. Hey, let's make our own days on them calendars and celebrate them joints. We wait for them to put a day on the calendar and say, okay, now you can celebrate it. That's what we do. Man, Valentine's Day is a bunch of garbage. And I don't want nobody to get up on here and call me some type of Grinch or call me some type of negative dude because I'm going in on a holiday. That day is garbage. Just like all the rest of them days, it's garbage. It is and for some of you women, that's why some of y'all be getting bamboozled and pimped, because y'all so gullible and naive, y'all fall for these stupid days. The only reason that the brother is giving you something on that day is because the calendar tells him he has to do so. So if you think a brother is truly loving you because a calendar that made him buy you some chocolate and some flowers, then you stupid. You stupid. You deserve to be bamboozled. You deserve to be tricked and pimped. You deserve it. If you think it's true love, if that day wasn't Valentine's Day on that calendar, would you still be getting the flowers and the chocolate? Like, come on, man. But yeah, we have people out here making it look like it's a competition. Ah, man, look, my man truly loves me because of what he did. You idiot. It's idiots, fam. Like, that's why I'm trying to tell y'all, this is why some of y'all get played. This is why some of y'all get played. I'm going to just keep it real. This is why some of y'all get played, fam. Sounding stupid. Oh, my man truly loves me because he was instructed by the calendar to go do this. And he knows, because you about to go look on Facebook and Instagram and see all these other chicks flaunting their Valentine's Day gifts. And he got to compete with that, and he don't want to hear the nonsense. He don't want to hear the BS. And y'all, come on, man. Fall for it every freaking year. Every freaking year, man. It's silly if you ask me. But y'all wanna boast like it's true love. Man, get out of here, fam. get out of here. Get out. Y'all was just into it last week. You was just accusing him of cheating last week, and he done bought you some flowers and some roses, and now everything cool. Now y'all got the best relationship on the planet. And y'all ain't fooling me. Y'all ain't fooling me, but we let this calendar once again dictate how we move, dictate how we perceive folks, dictate how we perceive relationships. That's enslavement, if you ask me. That's enslavement, if you ask me. You thinking about it too deep. You being too this and that. Okay, cool. I accept that. I'd have been called much worse in my life, but I don't let the calendar. I no longer let the calendar dictate how I show my love, dictate how I move, dictate this and that. I've been stopped that. I've been stopped. Like straight up, man. I've been stopped that. And let me see some of the comments, man, because I done got the going in. I see Cloxine, you say the only mainstream artist I rock with is Kendrick. And I got, man, I don't be rocking with a lot of them, man. You know, my favorite artist is on the underground level, man. I don't too much be caring for a lot of the mainstream nonsense. But big shout out though to Killer Mike, man, for it. But even with the Grammy, because I don't even care about the Grammy for real, like that. Forget that. That's once again, that's validation from white folks. Like we don't feel validated until we get awards on their platforms. I don't really care about the dude getting the Grammy for real, but I'm glad the world started to recognize, well, not even recognize him. Because it was what's crazy was I seen a lot of black folks hating on that album. And I posted the album when it dropped, Killer Mike's album, and was like, man, it's the best album that I done heard. Y'all remember that? I posted it on here. I posted it on all platforms. I was bumping that album as soon as it dropped repeatedly. Everybody that's around me can vouch for that. You know, and then when he won the album of the year, man, it's a bunch of people, bunch of ignorant folks that ain't never heard the album. He shouldn't have won that. That album wasn't all that good. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. But then if somebody like Sassy Drake would have won something, and then I would have been like, his album garbage, they would have told me I'm hating. You know, Killer Mike win a Grammy, and they like, that album ain't that good. He shouldn't have won a Grammy. Then I say they hating, but then that apparently they not hating then. But I'm hating when I say Drake can put out some garbage and all this type of stuff. I'm hating. But they ain't even listened to Killer Mike album and say he should have won it, and that's not hatred. Pot calling the kettle black. Pot calling the kettle black on that. But I don't even care about bro winning the Grammy. Which, that's cool. It's probably something that was on his bucket list. But to me, that's like when we had the Negro Baseball League and we were striving to get in the MLB. Man, no, I'm not validated by getting in the league with these white folk. You know, who created the Grammys? Who owns that? You know, it ain't for black folks. Like we need to create our own awards. If we created our own awards and it went national like the Grammys, like if we supported that, like we be watching the Grammys, then we would be able to highlight some of these artists that's on the underground, that's putting out music with a message. You know, we wouldn't have to wait for Killer Mike to get this Grammy for us to feel validated, because we would be validating these conscious artists every year. So we shouldn't have had to wait for that to happen. We should have been doing that on our own. But that's what we do. We wait. We sit around and we wait. Man, they don't never give such and such a Grammy. The Grammys don't never recognize these type of artists. Why we expect them to do so? Why are we waiting on it? Let's create our own. Then when we create the own, let's support it. You know, that's the other step. We create the thing, and then folks don't support it, and then next thing you know, it doesn't exist any longer. Like, come on now. Ransom is my cat. Now that's Ransom is somebody who I definitely can listen to. Ransom is my dude. Ransom is my dude. Like saying, I ain't even thought about reacting to videos, man. I ain't never even thought about it. That might be, I might can do that, but I ain't never thought about it. You know me. If I'm reacting to something, it's got to make some sense. You know. MMR, what's happening? Blaze, yeah, man, BBLs are so unnecessary, fam. A lot of it's just, man, them surgeries, it's ridiculous. Social media got a great hold on women. Got a great hold. Just even outside of BBLs, like social media got a good hold on the minds of women. Man, and how do I know? Because I train women, and I hear some of the weird stuff that they be saying. Man, I know women that had to deactivate their social media because they can't stand to get on social media and see these women out here with surgeries and these women out here living a certain lifestyle when 99% of the time they out here lying. They life ain't what they are. They life is not all that they are portraying it to be. But I know somewhere they can't see it. It makes them feel a certain type of way. It discourages them. It depresses them. Man, what is y'all on? But this is a lot of women, they like that. A lot of women, they can't get on social media and see these women living a certain type of way, looking a certain type of way. They gonna get depressed and discouraged. Man, I don't care what I'm seeing on here. I don't care what I look at on here. It is not about to discourage me nor depress me. But I know a lot of women, they can't do it. They can't do it. And that's more common than it's not. And that's a crazy mindset to have, you ask me. Man, why am I looking on here getting discouraged because I see somebody got a surgery and I know they got it? That ain't they real, but I'm in here working hard for my body. I'm not finna get discouraged because somebody paid for their body. But they see all the likes, they see all the dudes in the comments, so now they feel some type of way. Oh, look at all the attention she getting. I don't look like that. Now I'm depressed. Deactivate. Y'all gotta stop, fam. Y'all gotta get y'all minds right. For real, how you can't be on here, man, and you just know you looking at all this artificial nonsense because you see it's getting attention and that's rubbing you the wrong way. It makes you depressed. But I don't care what folks on here doing. That ain't about to make me feel no type of way. That ain't about to make me, man. If I deactivate my social media, it's because I'm fasting, bro. It's because I need to just get away. It ain't because I'm looking at people, man, and I'm competing with them, and I'm discouraged and depressed because they out here paying for stuff, and I'm working for it, and I ain't getting as much attention as they are getting. Like, man, come on. Weird, man. Straight up weird. Allegory set forth. What's happening? They ain't black. None of these days that we be celebrating traditionally got anything to do with us in a positive light. So we shouldn't be celebrating. But then when that time comes around and somebody such as myself, that's why I stopped doing it. You get called the Grinch, you get called this and that, man. It's like, it's for real, man. Some of us really trying to remove ourselves from this matrix. We striving to remove ourselves, but we need cooperation, man. We need some cooperation. If we about to disconnect from certain things, we need some cooperation from our people, man. So we got to get other people on board sometimes. Man, hey, know thyself. Amos N. Wilson, man, my favorite black author. Just one of the best black minds to ever exist. One of the best black minds. But yep, and someone is always telling us what is. Somebody other than ourselves. And it's crazy, man, just the lack of trust, the lack of respect we have for one another, man. Prime example. How many times have you talked to a person and either it's something that you are well versed in, or it's like your field, or you gave them information from a black source and they got to fact check you by using white sources, aka Google? Crazy, man. Like, we don't be it's crazy. Like, if I tell the average person something, they gonna be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna look that up. Which, mind you, I don't have a problem with that. But for the most part, when we look something up, what that means is, let me go find a white source that's saying what you're saying. That's like subconsciously, unconsciously, that's what we mean. We don't even realize that that's what we mean and that's what we do. But that's what be happening. When a brother says something, and this could be my field, fam. Like, I can have been in this field 10, 15 years, and I drop some information on the average person in regards to something related to what I do. This is my field. It's not something that I'm just giving my opinion on. It's something that I'm in the field, like this is what I do. You know, and I've been in this 15 years, and I give somebody some information, and they're like, boom, let me look that up. And they go look it up, and they come back, and it'd be 5, 6 white sources. Don't be nobody else black. And it might be 1 or 2 other just white sources. I've noticed that. How many times has somebody fact check you using some other black people? You rarely see that. You rarely see it. Nah, what's happening? All in there, man. Ebonics. You know, man, hold on, man. There we go. My mouse was acting crazy. I feel like a lot, like when it comes to stuff like Ebonics, man, a lot of times, man, they just be hating on skill. You know, black people, we take stuff and we remix it and we make it our own. You know, but they want to make it look like when we talking in Ebonics, like we just slow and can't grasp the language or whatever. Basically, Ebonics is us just making our own language, but they don't want to view it as such. And that's what we do. We take everything and we make it our own. We remix it and we make things cool, and they try to steal that from us. I'm a prime example of Ebonics. I'm always coming up with a phrase or a new phrase, and people be taking the phrase. Man, I'm good for that. You know, I'm good for just saying whatever, man. And folks are like, man, what you say? Man, I came up with that phrase. I just said whatever. And then next thing you know, it caught on. That's what we do. One of my favorite rappers and just entrepreneurs, E40, create his own language. You know what I'm saying? Create his own language. That's what we do. You know, that's what we tapped in. We are the original people of the planet Earth. When we tapped in, that's what we do. We create. We get real creative. You know, when you not tapped in, you emulate, you mimic, you steal, you copy. You know, but when you tapped in, you are original. You're not doing and saying what everybody else is doing and saying. You saying what you want to say. You doing what you want to do. You know, so when you tapped in, like that's just how you move naturally. You know, that's how black people move naturally. When we tapped in, we just created. That's just what we do. And then they try to steal that, you know, and they want us to copy. Hey man, I'm glad I ain't alone when it comes to these so-called holidays or whatever. If we really want to take back some power, I'm trying to tell you, we can start simply by boycotting these days. You know how much money they make off of us on these days, fam? You know how much money some of these wicked corporations that, if you go all the way to the top, are owned and controlled by folks who don't like black people. You know how much damage we'd do if on these days we didn't support the things that these days try to push us to support. You know how much damage we do. You know how much money we'll take out of their pockets, fam. Or the worst case scenario, man, if you're gonna tap in with some of these days, at least buy the stuff from black folk. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, hey, man, I can't give up these days fully, well, the least you could do is on these days, if you got to buy something, buy it from somebody black. But man, I say we do away with these days 100% and create our own days, like straight up. Sick of us falling victim to these calendars, man, in these days, and got people out here really believing. Just, man, yesterday was just crazy, man. Just folks, it's just crazy, fam. Just crazy, man. If that's all it takes, if y'all just about to break up a week ago, and all it take anybody buy her some chocolate and some flowers to shut her up. If that's all it took to just shut you up, you deserve to be manipulated, tricked, and bamboozled. Shouldn't be that easy. Like for real. Torenzo, I forgot I didn't even tap in. Hey, shout out to Torenzo. Peace. Sharifman for sure. Hey, you know, that was the joint. Killer Mike dropped some jewels, and the crazy part about it is Black folks, it was a lot of black people that was hating on it. You know, for real. Oh, Cornelia, hey man, I ain't forget about Dead Perez. Now, if I got the name in all my music, they was gonna come up instantly. I ain't name everybody now. Hold up. Yeah, Dead Perez, I'm a boys. Them, that they partially responsible for me eating the way that I eat right now. Know thyself. Hold on. You say, how do as black men slave that? Hey, what you trying to ask? Hold on. Ask that again. Know thyself, man. I don't know if I'm reading that correctly. Serpent X, you say, how do you feel about dating nowadays, fam? People intentions are off balance. You know, I'm not in the dating field or the dating realm, and people feel like, oh man, you can't be speaking on it if you're not in it, man. But I can speak on what I see, and I can speak on the current climate. And just off of what I see and the current climate that we are in, I feel sorry for folks that's got to be out here dating. I feel sorry for a lot of the brothers. I feel sorry for a lot of the sisters that's got to be out here dating because it's all bad. It's all bad. You know, when you're a brother, you coming every other woman you coming across, you might be dealing with some artificial garbage nonsense and somebody that's influenced by all this social media BS, superficial BS that she sees, and all of that nonsense. And then on the flip side, if you are a sister, man, you might be dealing with a weak-minded brother that's influenced by this social media lifestyle, social media world that we caught up in. So it's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. It's rough. It's rough out here. I be just tapping into the mentalities of people, and I'm like, man, you know, I'm just like, man, it's rough. That's all I got to say, man. Just from observing, having conversations with people, man, it's rough, man. People, it's some. I hate to use this word, man, but it's some weird-minded people out here, man. It's strange. It's strange, man. I feel for you, man, if you out here in that field, because people be on some different type of time, man, and it's ridiculous. That's a bunch of artificial garbage, not just stuff that I'm just not that ain't never been a part of my life. I ain't trying to keep up with the Joneses. I ain't trying to compete with the next person or next couple I see on social media. Like I ain't into none of that. You know, and a lot of times people be into that these days. I ain't got time for that, man. I ain't got time for that, man. The stuff that impresses most people don't really move me. Don't really move me at all. So when I hear somebody that be caught up in it, I'm just looking at them like, man, what is you like? Why are you so concerned about that? You know, why are you so concerned about what these folks over here doing? Hey, Trappers, Kelvin, peace. What's happening? All the know thyself, the black women being gullible. It's an unfortunate reality. But a lot of times when some of these days pop up and when certain conversations pop up, I just see why. I see why. And this is accountability, and this is me telling black women what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. But it's like sometimes, man, y'all make it easy for these dudes to just do what they want with y'all and get their way with y'all. Y'all make it easy. Y'all make it just too easy. Y'all just make it too easy. Make it too easy. Oh, okay, he got me some roses and a card because the calendar told him to do so. That means he loves me. No, that does not. You know, like that does not mean that. You know, somebody gets you something on February 14th because the calendar told them to do that. That does not mean that they love you, fam. But you got plenty of women that think that that's what that means. Now, you know how many statuses I saw? Oh, that means he loved me. Man, no, that dude might have bought that for 5 different other women too. You know what I'm saying? He might have bought that same thing he bought you for 5 other different women. And you fool, you think that that means he loves you because he bought you some roses and a card. and laid out the bed nicely for you. Man, he might have did that 4 or 5 other different women too. Man, you ain't nothing. That don't mean nothing. But we caught up in this materialistic world, man. We think that stuff means something. Boy, y'all got a long way to go if you think that really truly symbolizes anything, fam. You know what I mean? Like if you think that truly symbolizes anything, Dominique, man, what's happening? I ain't even tap in with you. Boom, what's happening? Like for real. You know what I'm saying? Like you think that means something. But that's what chicks be. Oh, he did this for me. That means he loves me. No, that is not. He's just trying to keep you satisfied. He's just trying to shut you up so that he can continue doing what he's doing. Like, come on, man. You know, I hate to give the game like that, but like that's what's happening. That's what's happening. You think he man, he got me some flowers, he got me to this and that on February 14th. Girl, he loved me. Oh, okay. It's 2 or 3 other women that he bought the same things for. And you don't even know it. You don't even know it. Crazy. Man, Dominique, I'm trying to tell you. And the messed up part is it be stories that, for one, I don't even be asking for it. I'm just here to give you a workout, you know, but I get the stories. But then on top of getting the story, you can sometimes you be looking at some of them like, man, I see why dudes ain't I see why dudes ain't messing with you. I see. You know, sometimes, man, I can have conversations with women and I can see why they are in a certain type of position. And that's messed up. But I see why. And I tell some of that, man, because you tripping. Ain't no dude finna put up with whatever you own. Like I will honestly tell some sisters that reason why you are the reason why you in the position that you are in is because you on a weird type of time, and ain't no dude in his right mind finna fool with that. Ain't no dude in his wrong mind about to fool with some of the stuff that some of these chicks be on, and vice versa. You know, but nah, like sometimes I see why. It's been a few times where I'm having conversation with folk, and I'm looking at it like, you the problem. You know, at the end of the day, we all play a role in why things ain't working out for us. But sometimes, man, you could break it down in percentage points here. Sometimes you have a very high percentage in regards to why this ain't working out. It might be 90-10, you know, for real. I ain't gonna even lie, man. Sometimes, let me talk honestly to some of my sisters. Some of y'all are y'all gotta get y'all minds right, fam. Some of y'all be truly tripping. And y'all just gotta get that under control. I know some of my brothers be tripping, but I done did enough talking to my brothers on this joint. I gotta let y'all know some of y'all truly be tripping. Some of y'all be spazzing over stuff that don't even be that serious and wonder why dudes don't want to entertain you, dudes don't want to be with you, all this, that, and the third. Some of y'all literally just be tripping. Man, a dude in his right mind ain't about to be dealing with some nonsense. Man, ain't about to be dealing with petty BS. The dude that is in his right mind, man, he not finna be fooling with that, man. He's not. And the older we get as men, the less patience we tend to have with some of the foolishness. You know, so the older you get with a brother and the less patience he about to have, man, you start doing that dumb stuff, instantly we like, hey, man, like for real. And one of the biggest problems that sisters have that I've noticed, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, one of the biggest problems that's creating a lot of confusion and conflict in regards to relationships between black men and black women is women jumping to conclusions without doing the knowledge, without knowing, without facts, bro, without just any evidence, just jumping, creating a whole narrative in their minds of what they think something means. Like, man, you can't do that as if that's a fact. Oh, I believe this is why he doing this, or I think this. Thinking and believing don't make it true. And then they start using this dumb stuff. Oh, you know, my intuition. Fool, your intuition ain't right all the time. I'm getting sick and tired of some of this spiritual talk. It be making me mad. Like, oh man, you know that intuition. Something told me, well, that's something, and your intuition can be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, quit acting like your intuition can't be wrong. Plenty of times folks had the wrong thing, the wrong intuition. Your intuition ain't always right and exact. It ain't 100% right and exact. You can be wrong. So just because you think something, just because you feel something, don't make it true. So you create a whole narrative in your head about something the dude did instead of just talking to dude. You done created a whole narrative in your head in regards to why he acted a certain type of way instead of just asking the brother. Like I didn't heard this and seen it. Instead of people going to go ask the brother, hey, why are you moving like that? They gonna go sit up and create 1,000 scenarios in their mind in regards to why he could possibly be acting this way, instead of having a conversation with the brother. And in their mind, the narrative that they came up with, that they settled on, is right. Man, that is dumb. No, it's not. It's not. Just because you came up with it in your head and you feel confident in it, doesn't mean that it's true. Doesn't mean it's true. I don't care nothing about your intuition. I don't care nothing about what you feel, because that stuff can be off. And it has been off plenty of times. You just want to highlight the success stories when your intuition was correct, but you don't want to highlight when it's off, when it's wrong. When you thought something and then it turned out to not be what you thought. They don't want to point out those scenarios and those situations. They don't want to do it. Okay, no, I said, okay, how do we solve black women being gullible as black men as leaders? But with that, man, we gotta stop feeding into some of the nonsense. Like, that part is on us, feeding into the nonsense. You know, we feed into it. We say, oh, if this all it takes to keep her mind in this particular space, then let me feed into it. So as men, we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop doing it. Hey, Jabbar, appreciate the cash app. Like that part is on us. That part is on us. We keep feeding into the gullibility. We gonna continue to give more gullible sisters. That's just how it goes. So we gotta stop feeding into it. We gotta stop letting them guilt trip us in, you know what I'm saying, into celebrating things and doing things that we ain't trying to do. And we gotta stand together as brothers. Like, man, we ain't doing this. Like, man, we ain't moving according to this calendar or this schedule. But we got you on this day though, and you just gonna accept it. We ain't caring about your argument. Like, for real. Lindell, you say, can you give me a percentage of how much of the Bible you agree and disagree with? Because I have a question about Matthew 6:31 and have no thought about what you shall eat or drink. Your take. When it comes to that book, it ain't even about a percentage of agreeing, because I look at that book as full of allegories and parables. So that book right there, it ain't even a book about me having to agree with it. It's a book of stories, which are parables and allegories, that I can extract a message from, that have a moral to them. You know what I mean? Like, it's morals to these stories. So it ain't even about me agreeing or disagreeing with that book. It's about me reading the stories within the book and taking the moral of the story away from it and applying it to my life, which I can do that with any and everything. But having no thought about what you shall eat or drink, that's one of the contradictions that come along with the Bible in its totality. Because if you follow the Old Testament, which I know, if you read the Blue Zone, if you know anything about the Blue Zone, then you know the Seventh-day Adventists. They are one of the healthiest. They are, according to the studies, they are the healthiest population in the wilderness of North America, and they part of the Blue Zone, which are the healthiest populations across the globe. You know, but the Seventh-day Adventists, they was the only group that resided in the wilderness of North America, Loma Linda, California. and they follow the a lot of them follow the Old Testament to the T, and that's why you have a lot of them that are vegetarian and are vegan. Because basically, if you follow in the Old Testament, it gives you strict dietary laws. But then when you go to the New Testament, that's out the window. Everything that was deemed unclean is now deemed clean, and that's why they feel like all I got to do is pray over my food, and therefore now it's all good. That's what the New Testament instructed. The Old Testament, if you follow that to a T, it comes with a set of dietary laws and principles, which for the most part, I had you leaning toward a vegetarian, vegan, raw food, or maybe pescatarian type of lifestyle. But the New Testament wiped all that out. So that's why it'd be a lot of confusion in regards to, what to eat if you read both books of the Bible. So that's why I'm like, I take the best part of everything. That's just what I do, That's why I say I'm not going to get my dietary principles from a book like that. What I'm going to do is just start studying nutrition and start studying my body and experiment. That's where I'm going to get my dietary laws from. That's how I'm going to figure out what I need to eat and what I don't need to eat. I'm not going to get it from one whole book. I'm going to experiment, and I'm just going to study nutrition. Let me study these vitamins. Let me study these minerals. Let me try to eat a certain type of way. Let me eat a certain type of food. Let me remove that food for 30 days, put it back into my life to see how my body responds and reacts to it. That's how I'm going to do it. I become my own source. Hey, Kelvin, my brother, appreciate that donation. You say how you jump from Popeye's chicken to Ruth Chris Steak. Got to work on them attitudes. Hey, and they be on it. Hey, Zaru, man, hey, I ain't been live as much lately, so that's why you haven't been getting the updates, man. But I be trying to tap in whenever I can for real, because I've been busy lately, just from a business perspective and just laying low, man, just studying and things like that. So I haven't really even been streaming that much. For real. But I heard I heard YouTube been trying to hate on me though. They be trying to hate on me with as far as like the notifications at times, man. People, even when I be doing some uploads, man, they don't be trying to notify the folks. So I've noticed that. So the algorithms been changed up. I've noticed, which that happens quite often with these social media platforms. The algorithm switches up on us. Yeah, Blaze, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, when you leave with your wallet, the brothers that do that, they set us back 1,000 years, man. They set us back 1,000 years. They set us back 1,000 years by leading with the wallet, man. It's some dumb stuff. But the part that they lead with the wallet, but then it's just the dumb part. It's just they fall for it. Like that's the dumb part, just falling for that. Black Sun, man, I got every Arnold Ehret book that was ever published, and the folks that can study him. That's partially where Dr. Sebi got a lot of his inspiration from. You already know. When I first changed the way that I was eating, I came across the mucusless diet healing system. When I started studying fasting and all that, like that was the first dude I came across was his works. So I got all his. I was studying him intensely back in the day, and that mucusless diet healing system. And what's his name? That still be advocating it, man. I got a few of his book, Professor Spira or something like that. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I got his joints too. So yeah, I'm way familiar with that for sure. Y'all already know. Yeah, man. Dudes pitiful for that. Don't have no backbone. Don't have no backbone, man. You know, at the end of the day, when we ain't got no backbone as a nation, like we fall for anything. We fall for anything, and that's one of the reasons why. Hey, I hate to say that it's a lost cause, man, but collectively, man, I'm promise you guys, I don't see it. You know, and this ain't even to be pessimistic, man, but just collectively, man, we man, we in a spot, man. Like if you ain't been paying, like collectively, we in a weird spot as black people, man. We in a tough spot. I ain't gonna even say weird. We in a tough spot collectively. And all you got to do is just pay attention. All you got to do is look. All you got to do is just analyze, man. Like you can't have serious conversations these days with other black people. We ain't trying to have. We ain't trying to have them. I feel like maybe 10, 12 years ago, you had a better chance of having some of these conversations. Nowadays, they done wiped all that out. They done regulated social media to the point where they just be wiping out a lot of that content. You know, back 10, 12 years ago, this content, it's almost like music. Hip hop, I should say. You know, when hip hop was first hitting the scene, they allowed a lot of conscious artists to make it to the mainstream level. You would see Brand Nubians and things like that on MTV on some of these platforms. But then when they start seeing how that influenced the minds of people, they was like, hold up, we got to make that music go underground. Well, they did the same thing with YouTube. When YouTube first dropped and the algorithms and all of that was fresh, man, it was a lot of content that was conscious, that was awakening people, black people, that was on the surface, that was like mainstream on YouTube. And they saw how that was influencing the mind of people, or the black people. And it was like, hold on, we got to get rid of this content. We got to get rid of this type of content. We got to make some of these, we got to suppress some of these people, or we got to ban them, or we got to make them talk about some other stuff. And that's what they did. That's what they did. When YouTube was in its infancy, when YouTube first started out, for the first few years, the algorithms was GOAT level. Man, you could see anything on your algorithm. Man, you can see how they manufactured the AIDS virus on your algorithm. Like you a doc, that would come up on your joint. You be like, hold on. You know, it was a lot of things that'll pop up on your YouTube back in the day. Now, nope, you ain't seeing any of that. No, them videos don't even exist. Hey, Ken, my brother, peace. What's happening? But yeah, that type of stuff don't even exist. So that's they have done that. They've done a great job. Great job. So now if you want to, like I read, and a lot of wise minds before me have said, like if you want to control the minds of the people, you control the information that they receive. You control the information that they consume. Basically, control the media. If you control the media that your people consume, or that the people consume, you can control the minds of them. And that's what they doing. They controlling our media. They controlling our information. They controlling our news. You know, so they can control what we deem as important. Like if we don't see it, on YouTube, and we can't find it on Google, we don't think that it even exists. That's where they got us. You know, so they controlling us by controlling the media. So now they tell us what's important. You know, they get us to talking about what they want us to talk about. And they get us arguing about what they want us to argue about. Not what we actually need to be discussing and things like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy if you ask me. Like I hate to have that viewpoint, but man, it ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. Like it is not pretty, fam. And allegory said forth, religion and education systems are just as deadly as the media. 1,000%. They all connected, really. They all connected. And it's crazy because if you read Napoleon Hill joint, the dude did Think and Grow Rich, if you read his Outwitting the Devil book, he talks about the religion. He talks about religion, or the religious instructors and the educators being used as a tool to manipulate the children, manipulate the world, and keep the destructive energy out here. Or yeah, basically that. But he's talking about how those are the main tools being used by the devil, to keep this agenda going. Religion and education. And I've always said that. I've always said that. But when you start talking about folks and their religion and all that, they get emotional. They can't hear that. But hey, in that book, and that book is right and exact for anybody that hasn't read that book. That book is on point. But he says that in that book. He says that in that book. Hey, he was like the religious instructors and the educators, the teachers, and parents basically are some of the main tools being used to keep the wicked agenda going. Main tools. Main tools. And that's, man, and those are some of the main things that I have been banging on that folks don't want to hear. Religion, the educational system, which I was a part of, and they got me. But I got a lot of criticism towards both, towards both. And folks don't be wanting to have them conversations. They don't be wanting to have them conversations. I'm criticizing all the tools, but I do feel like those are some of the main tools. And along with that, I would say religion, the educational system, but then I'm also say the medical industry. That was a forgot. Like I gotta throw them in that too. The medical industry. That'll be my top 3 for keeping all this nonsense going. With media, I gotta throw the media in there. So I did my top 4, But yeah, let's not throw the pharmaceutical medical industry, however you want to phrase it. Main tool for keeping us in the state that we in. Main tool. Main tool, boy. Main tool. How many people you know right now in your family that take some type of medication? Break it down to me. Break it down to let me know. How many people you know right now just in your family that's on some type of medication? I think of a lot. Right now out the gate, man, I just start naming folks. I can just start naming folks. And this is just medication. It's just medication, right? We ain't even tapped into the food. How they using the food to keep us in a certain state. How they using the food to keep us to have us attain a certain mentality. And that goes to Tony's point. To in jail and all that, we got to think about some of the things that's being used to create a certain type of mentality within us. Food, medication, all of these things being used as a tool to have us to adopt a certain mentality or a certain mindset. We eating all this toxic dead food, and it's got us acting aggressively. It's got us acting toxic. It's got us acting a certain type of way, and then we act on that, and now here we go. That gives them the green light to keep killing us, locking us up. Keep killing us, locking us up, or give us medication. And we already know what the medication is going to do to us. I got some personal information that I'm not going to disclose, but I wish I could in regards to the jab. Boy, I wish I could share, but I'm not going to put that information out here, man. But I got some personal information on that. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy the lies that they done sold us and we done bought. Back when the job, man, and it's crazy to think that was 4 years ago. Crazy how fast time is really flying. And there's some science behind that. They literally sped up time on us. Bet a lot of y'all might not have even known that. They literally decreased the time of a day. You know what I'm saying? They've been slowly decreasing the time of a day. Like I remember I read an article on that. I don't know if I shared this article on YouTube or not. I think I did. But they have been slowly decreasing the time of a day. So when you look up, you like, man, it seems like time is flying. Like time is literally moving faster because they are literally decreasing. It's a small decrease, but it adds up. That's literally why I just feel like time is moving so fast, man. They have literally been decreasing the time of a day. Like this, they really doing this type of stuff. And they doing this type of stuff while they throw these distractions at us. So they throw these distractions at us whole while they decreasing the time of a day. And we sitting up saying weird things like, man, time flying. Man, time flying. Can't believe it. Like, man, this is crazy, man. It seemed like that was just yesterday. Man, they've been doing that. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. They have been doing it. I wish I can find some of the articles that I was looking at. Man, I don't know. I don't even know if I can find it, because they probably got rid of that, because that was some years ago. That was some years ago, so you might not be able to find them articles, man. But I shared it on some platform. I can't remember. But they literally have been decreasing the time of the day. Like, it's been small decreases, milliseconds, like even probably something lighter than that, but it adds up over time. Hey, Kelvin, my brother, appreciate that donation for sure. Once again, Zaru, man, we all need to go back and watch The Matrix again. It's a bunch of movies that we just need to go back. We just need to watch them again. But we just need to go back, watch The Matrix again. But yeah, man, it like when the ridicule folks such as myself received for not getting jabbed up, it's just like 4 years later. How do y'all feel? Like, for those of you who's making it seem like I'm wicked, evil, and ignorant, and a bunch of other folks are in the same boat because we ain't want to get jabbed up, and we walking around here just fine right now. Boy, how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel? Man, I'm talking, man, you was getting disowned back then. You was getting disowned. Like, you was getting disowned by your family. People ain't, man, I know people that wasn't letting their fathers in their cribs because they ain't get the jab, or they ain't have a mask on, this, that, and the third. Man, it was some serious stuff going on. It was some serious business going on over the jab and over these shots. And I know personal situations where these jabs have negatively affected folks, killed folks, things like that, And I've been walking around just fine on the herbs, on the smoothies, just fine. And most making it look like I'm the problem. Oh, yeah, okay. I would like for a lot of those people who were on this here platform going so hard for the jab to come back to the scene. Come back to the scene. I want them to let me know how trash, like how my immune system is so strong right now. How I've rarely been getting sick over the years. Like, I want to have that conversation when they was acting like me talking about nutrition and exercising and all that is not a benefit to something like that. I want to know. Y'all was telling me I'm part of the problem. Y'all was telling me, and they still tell me, medical misinformation. Y'all was telling me that. But me and all the other folks that I know that didn't get it, man, we been in some of the best shape and health of our lives. Straight up. It seemed like the people that I know that got jabbed up 17,000 times with 17,000 boosters keep getting sick. They the ones that keep getting sick and their health declining. That's what I've noticed. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But what I'm noticing is everybody that I know, and this is unfortunate because there's some people that's near and dear to me, but the people that I know that got jabbed up, man, they suffer. They suffer. They are suffering, fam. Suffering. I've been herbed up, smoothied up, been good. Been working out, exercising, been good. Just like I was telling folks, I would be good back then. Wasn't a fear, wasn't an ounce of fear in my body when that stuff popped off, because I already knew what to do, because I was already doing it. I was like, I'm gonna be good during this, I'm gonna be good after this. And that's it. I'm the same. Same. Good shape, immune system good, barely getting sick. If I do get sick, don't last long. I stay fruit and vegetable up. I stay herbed up. Matter of fact, I gotta order some more herbs. I'm out of some of the herbs, you know. But I stay with my collection of herbs. Stay with them. Stay with them. And that was, that was the whole thing, man. People was looking at me crazy. Looking at me crazy. I never, that's some things you just don't forget. I never forget that period of time and some of the people that came at me crazy for my stance on that. I won't forget y'all. And I'm gonna continue to remind y'all when I keep flourishing out here, taking my herbs, not trusting them, not trusting them folks. Straight up. I'm gonna continue to be good. That's one thing I know. Because I'm a listen to my body. Listen to my body, and I'm gonna do my best 80-90% of the time to feed my body what it needs. Straight up. Feed my body what it needs. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm a fast. I ain't gonna overeat. I ain't gonna overindulge. Hey, even if you look in the Bible, that's one of them, 7 deadly sins, gluttony. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's letting you know what not to do. On overeat, some simple things like that. I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna do that. We ain't finna overeat. We're gonna eat the right foods. Only thing right now that I'm working on is sleep. That's it. That's my problem. My biggest problem. Getting enough sleep. Because they tamper with the time so much, your boy just be working and barely gets enough sleep. That's probably the only problem. That and probably flexibility, just stretching. That's it. My 2 weak points is sleep, mobility, and flexibility. Then played all them sports over the years, man. The shoulders and all that's all bad. So I just got to get back into doing Tai Chi, Qigong, and stretching a little bit more. That's it. And then just sleeping. That's it. My only weak points in regards to body maintenance. And I say probably meditating a little bit more in regards to mental maintenance. That's it though. If I had to honestly assess where I'm at, I eat fairly good. Yeah, I still from time to time might indulge in some things, what they call cheat meals, but man, that's cool. The 80-20 rule. I'm going to at least 80% of the time put what I need in my body inside of my body. And I'm going to exercise consistently. I'm going to do that. I'm going to read what I need to read. I'm going to do the affirmations. So like I'm good. It just be the sleep, the mobility, and the flexibility, and maybe a little bit of the meditation. That's it. Everything else got it under control, and I got it under control. I ain't worried about it. Straight up. Straight up, man. But with that being said, man, I done messed around. I done been going off for a little minute. I gotta head back up to this gym. I gotta get ready to head back to this gym. So I gotta make my second smoothie for the day. Speaking of that, and get some more herbs in my system. I get that milk thistle in the system for that liver regeneration. Get that liver right and exact. Get y'all some milk thistle. That's the herb for the day. Get that milk thistle, man. Get that joint capsule powder form. Get some milk thistle. That's the herb I'm finna take after I drink this smoothie. But I gotta get on, make this smoothie, head back up to this gym, finish off my clients for the rest of the day, man. I appreciate donations, cash apps, all the love, man. The interaction is always peace. Let me see. The book for the day, it's the book that I mentioned, Outwitting the Devil, man, by Napoleon Hill. If you ain't got that book, go grab that book. If you haven't read it, I recommend reading that book. Very powerful book right there, man. But hey, I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday. I don't know when I'm gonna tap back in with y'all, man. Hey, whenever I got the opportunity to tap back in, whenever I got something to say, I'm gonna tap back in. So just be on the lookout. Stay on call, because I'm liable to go live at any moment. You know how I do it. But man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be easy out here, man. I'm gonna tap in when I tap in. Peace.